Calm down. I'm here. Okay. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good day. Hello, and welcome to the Thursday Spiritual Circle Gathering presentation, where we meet every Thursday between the hours of 7 until 8 p.m. here on the East Coast, 7 till 8 p.m. here on the East Coast, 4 until 5 p.m. on the West. It is Thursday, January 16th. This will be a video. Um, I hope all is well in your world. This evening, we're looking at Simon Peter. Simon Peter. We're also going to check out the pineal gland or the pineal gland. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. The pineal gland, its significance, one of the reasons why Charles Fillmore, wanted to use that particular part of the body in order to express the point of of faith, of faith. All right. So I just want you all to know that I am here. Matter of fact, let me come back over. Matter of fact, let me come back over. Okay, here we are. Every time I try to do something, I mess it up. So why don't I do this over here? Oh God, did I lose you all altogether? No, okay. One thing is working and something else is not working. I can only hope that you all still hear me. I can hope to the God of my understanding that you all still hear me. Get rid of this. Please, Lord, let them hear me. Okay, you ought to be able to see me in a second. You see me? I've got this thing in front of me. Hey, hey, hello. Here I am. There she is. Here we are. As I was saying, today is Thursday, the 16th of January. And I am live here in Poughkeepsie. I live in Poughkeepsie, New York. We are 62.5 miles north by way of by way of Metro North. However, if you're driving, then it's 80 something miles from Grand Central Terminal. So here I am. It's very windy outside. It would only be about 30 something degrees, but because it's very windy, then of course it brings the temperature lower. It's very windy. I'd say maybe 13, 14 miles an hour, but we're dealing with it. We're dealing with it. It is what it is, and we're dealing with it. Okay. So let me share this screen just for a little while. Don't get too comfortable with me sharing the screen. Whatever you do, don't get comfortable because I'm going to be switching back and forth. All right, so that's 5 minutes. Okay, I don't want to blow. We have a lot of material to cover, and I don't want to blow it. All right. So so faith, we know we're going to be looking at faith. Color is blue. Here is the disciple of the month, which is Peter. All right. So now I'm going to stop sharing because Now it's our turn to just relax, 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 relax. Here we go. Okay. In this right now moment, in this right now moment, let us relax, take some deep breaths. This day, depending on where you are on the globe, either this day is ending for you, this day is in the middle of the day for you, or this day is beginning for you. But wherever you are on the globe, know that we're all connected and that we're all one. And that we are one with the one. There is no separation with us. We are together and there is no separation. We are one with the one. We are one with the cosmic force. We are one with Mother Nature. We are one with God. We are one with divine love. We are one with divine source. We are one with each other. We are one with the power. We are one with faith. We are faith. We are one with it. We are one with it. We are the faith that we seek. Faith is seeking us. We are seeking faith. Faith is seeking us. Faith cannot operate without us. Faith is active. Faith does not sleep. Faith is within us. It is our job to activate that faith that is asleep in some of us. So for the next few minutes, the next 2 minutes, we will concentrate on faith. Faith is the light that shines itself, comes from the bottom of the feet. This will be a creative visualization for the next 2 minutes. 1 minute of this creative visualization meditation will be creative visualization, imagining faith coming from your foot up to the head. The other 60 seconds of this creative visualization will be sitting in the silence, listening to the God of your own personal understanding. So let us begin with the creative visualization. Faith is the light that makes its way up through the root, the bottom of the feet. The feet carries us from point A to point B, our feet. Feet is the root. Feet. The light, the warm light of faith comes up to the calf, through the calf area, through the knee area, slowly making its way to the thigh area. The warm light of faith makes its way up past the thigh area, up to the buttocks, to the reproductive area. The light of faith makes its way up from the reproductive area up to the elimination area, where faith, with faith, allows us to get rid of that which is blocking our good, blocking our blessing. That faith leaves the elimination area, comes up, up, up to the stomach area, warming the body. The body feels nice, feels warm, feels safe. The faith now continues to ascend through the upper stomach area, upper where the solar plexus is. Keep going up. The light of faith now is in the chest area where the heart is. Faith in the heart. The heart is faith. The heart is love. Faith and love. Faith moves its way up, ascending now to the throat area where we begin to have the faith in ourselves to speak our truth. The warm light of faith stays there in the throat just for a few seconds so we can speak our truth. To give yourself, myself, ourselves permission to say what we need to say, what we want to say, what we ought to say in a dignified and non-threatening manner. The white light now of faith moves up to the nostril area, past the tongue, through the nostril area, up to where it now is in the pineal gland, the third eye area, which is where faith resides. Faith resides, lives, dwells in the pineal area where we envision and imagine faith. Works its way up through the crown of our head. It has ascended through the crown. For the next 1 minute, the next 60 seconds, we will sit in the silence. We will listen to meditation. We will listen to intuition. Your spiritual power, your higher power is communicating with you, letting you know that all is well when you practice faith and belief in it. For the next 60 seconds, beginning now. As we are slowly returning, we bring with us faith. The affirmation is, I am growing strong in my faith. I am growing strong in my faith. I am strong in my faith. I am strong in my faith. My faith helps me to overcome anything. My faith overcomes me and assists me and aids me to overcome anything. Because I know faith without works is dead. Faith without works is dead. Slowly come back, slowly come back to yourself, come back to the room, come back to yourself. You are aware of where you are. You are aware of who you are, and you are aware that faith is over, under, around, and through you. You are protected by the light of faith. 10, 9, 8. You are the faith that you seek. 7, 6, 5. We are the faith that we seek. 4, 3. We are faith. 2, 1. When you are ready, open your eyes. Open your eyes to the truth. And the truth is, with faith, all things are possible. With active faith, all things are possible. Okay. Now, here we go. Here we go. Come on. Be nice. I'm doing my part. All righty then. Let's go here so you can see more of the screen. Come on. Right there. Okay. Okay, let us begin with the Bible verse. Our Bible verse for this evening, for this presentation, comes from the book of John, the book of John, which is 20:29. Book of John 20:29. This is Jesus and Thomas talking to each other. Jesus appears to Thomas, and it reads as follows. Jesus said to him, because you have seen me, you have believed. Blessed are those that have not seen and yet have believed. Again, Jesus said to him, because you have seen me, you have believed. Blessed are those that have not seen and yet have believed. The Apostle Thomas was one of Jesus's original 12 disciples. Please see Matthew 10:3, Mark 3:18, Luke 6:15. Was probably one of Christian history's famous skeptics who gave way to the term doubting Thomas. Doubting Thomas. Thomas always doubted. We have a lot of doubting Thomases walking around on the face of the earth. You have some doubting Thomases at work, in your family, on your job, you name it, doubting Thomases. Okay. Well, this evening for the doubting Thomases, we're going to present some information for you with the hopes that this may help you with your doubt, to eradicate, get rid of doubt. Reverend Barber's interpretation of the Bible verse, John 20:29 is, Thomas and Jesus are talking. Jesus said, based upon the works that you've seen me perform, you now believe me. Thomas, did you always believe in me, or did you believe in me when you heard of me? Now that you've seen my works, you believe in me. Those that have not yet seen my works, yet still believe in me, then their belief goes deeper and becomes faith. Thomas, did you believe in me initially? There are others that have faith in me. Their faith in me has made them whole. They believed me before they saw. Did you believe in me before you saw? Or did you need to see before you believe? Instead of doubting like Thomas, seeing is believing, let us be like Peter. Peter believed, then he began to practice faith. Peter stepped out, he wavered, he had to reset, then practice until his faith grew. Belief and stepping out on faith. It is your faith that makes you whole. The ingredients may be the current condition, the conviction of your belief, and then faith. Again, the ingredients may be the current condition, the conviction of your belief, and then faith. Almost. Okay. Please note, we will not end the 12 Spiritual Power series until we have ended the series. There's no timeline. We will be finished when we're finished. Questions for this evening are, and we're going to hope we get through as many questions as possible, okay? Thoroughly. Can you have faith in illness? Can you have less faith than anyone else? What is meant by developing faith? What is the difference between faith and belief? What is the purpose of faith? What is the purpose of belief? Why are some prayers not answered? How would you go about drawing some specific good into your life? There's some good that you want, and you are clear about the good that you want. How would you go about drawing it into your life? The pineal gland. Historically, the pineal, I have pictures, it's just, hold on. Historically, the pineal gland was called the third eye because it was once believed that the pineal gland allowed you to see into different planes of existence. Once upon a time, it was called the third eye. The pineal gland is a small gland located deep in the center of the brain. Named for its pine cone shape, this gland secretes melatonin, which plays a role in the body's internal clock. Here we have, I need to do something. This will help us to accomplish what it is we want to accomplish. Here we go. We have, okay, those of you that are on the phone and can't see this, what we have here is a diagram of the pineal gland. It contains, this diagram, the skull, the brain, nasal cavity, bulb, cerebellum, pineal gland. Again, it is the skull, brain, nasal cavity, pineal gland, cerebellum, and the bulb. The pineal gland is roughly located at the center of the brain. Can you see my little arrow here? So it's located roughly in the center of the brain, sandwiched or in between the left and the right hemispheres. Fear not, I've got a diagram of the hemisphere. Fear not. The gland is approximately the size of a grain of rice. It is the only midline brain element that is not paired. Following cited source, www.metaphysicsforlife.com/brain hemispheres. Here is, keeping my word, is a overhead view of the hemisphere. We have the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere. It is my understanding that the left hemisphere controls the right side of the brain, and the right hemisphere controls the left side of the brain. I've been reading, and that is what I have found out. Okay, so on the left side of the brain, we have fear, sensing, 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 like our senses, five senses, sight, nose, mouth, ear, and touch, sensing, mind, and thinking. Whereas on the right side of the brain, we have feeling, heart, intuition or intuitive, and peace. These are the two aspects of our brain. Linear, 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 able to perceive the parts of reality, and holistic, seeing everything as connected. So we're going to look at it from a very linear, uh, tangible, concrete, very physical point of view. Then we're able to perceive parts of reality. Whatever reality we're looking at, then we are able to hopefully perceive what we're looking at. Not understand it, but to perceive what we're looking at. But if you're looking at it from a holistic perspective, then we see everything as connected. Everything is one. Okay, so there's no separation, depending on looking at it from these two aspects of our brain. Okay. Uh, must be balanced and work together to create an accurate perception of physical reality. These two sides of the brain have to work together. They have to have what's called a peaceful coexistence. They must be together, work together, so they can create an accurate perception. What they're looking at is what they see. What they see is what they understand. And what they understand, it is what it is. Okay. So in other words, we must be able to see the parts and how they are connected and work together if we want to function effectively in the world. So if we want to function effectively in the world, then our thinking, mind, sensing, fear must work together with feeling, heart, intuitive peace. And I find it curious that we have thinking and feeling parallel. We have mind and heart, thinking and feeling. I find that sensing and intuition are senses not governed by, but our senses work together with the intuition, and the opposite of fear is peace. When we get rid of fear, when we get rid of fear by way of activating our faith, then we have what? We have peace. Next, we have spirituality and the third eye. Spirituality and the third eye. The cited source, https://mindbliss, mindbliss.com. You go into that site, then you look for pineal gland function and activity. And this is as follows. Here we have in addition to the physiological or the physical role the pineal gland plays in the body, it is also commonly associated with spiritual thought and mystical experiences. So, for example, here we have the physical. We have the senses, the sight, nose, mouth, hearing, touch. These lines you see here could be energy centers, if you will, although we have 7 main chakras, main ones, that govern the rest of the energy, that govern, it's like having a hub. So you have 7 hubs, and then there's 144,000 circuits, if you will, or energy balls, energy spheres that feed into, and the hub makes sure that everything is in order. So these 7 chakras help to funnel and to transform and to regulate. That's the word I'm looking for. Help to regulate the 144,000 chakras. The 7 main chakras help to regulate the energy of the rest of the chakras. So what we have here is we have physical, and so here's the third eye. See the third eye? See it? That third eye? There it is right there. The pineal gland. Okay, pineal gland. So what we have here is the pineal gland. We have the senses, and then we have this individual meditating. So their meditation and their petition, uh, being still, keeping still, being still in the silence, being still to know. Well, the goal and objective is to be, is to touch the spiritual. The physical is touching the spiritual. How do we know it's spiritual? I want you to take a closer look at something. I want you to take a closer look at something. And what it is when I first saw it, I thought to myself, it couldn't be what I'm looking at. But anyway, here is the third eye. But I want you to see this individual is ascending, and the third eye are now, these to me, these are eyes. These are more eyes. So this third eye is making a connection by way of ascending. So now this third eye and the ascension are one. The primary objective of ascending spiritually is to become one. We are one, but the objective of the meditation in and of itself to come is to not only come to that realization, but to feel, to have the feeling of being one. It's a very calming feeling to know and to feel that we are at one with the one, that we are at one with the one. Yes, we are one with the one. So in addition to the in addition to the physical role the pineal gland plays in the body, it is also commonly associated with spiritual thought and mystical experiences. Ancient sages, sage is a philosopher or a scholar or a guru or a mystic. So ancient, way back in the day, they believed that this area of the body to be the space for ascension, going upward into enlightenment through the brain body. It just got done showing this to you. That's what this is doing. It is ascending from the brain body, okay, up into another level of awareness. Ascension, enlightenment through the brain body. It is perceived, it is thought of as a bridge between our inner and outer world. Excuse me. Our inner and outer world. So this is supposedly or is our inner world. This is us, and that is the outer world. As well as to be a connection to something beyond what we know to exist, to a higher state of consciousness. It was called the seat of the soul by French philosopher Descartes, although science has mostly discarded his sentiments. One moment, please. Okay, thank you for that. I needed that. Thank you. However, now that it has been proven that melatonin is in part regulated by the pineal gland, it does lend credibility to the fact that increased melatonin production can produce transcendent, or the ability to transcend, the ability to, I want to say go from one level to another, to go from one level to another consciousness wise, to meditate and to transcend this physical level, to transcend the physical, and to go up and to make contact with the God of your understanding. So even though we eat, sleep, breathe, and walk around on earth, we have a way when we meditate and engage in our meditation and read our scriptures, then we have a way of leaving this chaos, and in reading our material, then we become much more calmer. And the process of becoming calmer is ascending from the earthly, fleshly realm, going up to the spiritual realm. I can only hope I explained it. Melatonin, here we go. What is melatonin? What is melatonin? Melatonin is, I hope it's not too big. No, it is. It is a hormone. It is produced by the pineal gland in your brain. Number two, it is an antioxidant. It protects against oxidative damage and can even, it protects against oxidative damage and can even prevent cancer. Oxidation means, I'm gonna put this, it's a lot of, when an individual, I'll have to put it in a way that I know I can relate, and I teach. When an individual is going through detox, the liver has a way of going through oxidation. The liver works overtime trying to get rid of the elements that it has no business in the body, such as alcohol and or drugs. So oxidation is to bring in enough oxygen so the liver can get rid of the elements that have no business being in it. It's the only way I know how to explain it. All right, so that it is an antioxidant. It protects against antioxidative damage and can even prevent cancer. So those of you that know someone that smokes cigarettes, use drugs, drink alcohol, tell them to please stop, because it affects the liver, and sometimes the liver does work overtime trying to oxidate the liver, but the liver needs the help of the person that is using. So the way that they can help the way they can help that liver is to stop using, because the liver can only do so much. Number three, it is a muscle relaxant. It relaxes the smooth muscles, including the digestive tract. So it is great for digestive problems. Moving right along. There is a mention in this reading regarding the sixth chakra. So let's just go straight to it right now, so we'll all be on the same page of the chakra. As I said earlier, there's 7 main ones that generate energy from and to the 144,000 other spheres, chakras. So there's 7. So let's count from the bottom up, because this is how it works. 1, 2, 3. There's 4. It's purple. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the 7th. They're talking about this sixth one. So let's just see what they're talking about when they talk about this sixth one. Outside of the realm of science, the pineal gland is associated with the sixth chakra, or ajna, or the third eye center. Located between your eyebrows, essentially deep back in your brain. The ancient yogis who, something about that doesn't sound right. It just doesn't sound right. Outside the realm of science, the pineal gland is associated with the sixth chakra. I sat here and counted seven. The sixth chakra, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But the pineal gland is up here. And I don't see anything here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, where's 7? I'm supposed to know these things. That slipped right by me. But I can assure you, I will have an answer for us in a few seconds. Outside of the realm of science, the pineal gland is associated with the sixth chakra, called ajna, or the third eye center, located between your eyebrows, essentially deep back in your brain. The ancient yogis, or yogi, who wrote the Vedas in India between 1500 and 500 before Common, or 1500 to 500 years before Christ, outlined a long time ago, these physiological or physical and psychic mental energy pathways that run through the body as a map, as we can still use today to better understand ourselves. When you strengthen and activate the third eye, you awaken intuition and inner wisdom and the path of realization. Yes, I'm going back here. So then there's nothing there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, throwing me off. Don't throw me off, please. Especially when I'm sitting in front of an active camera. Do not throw me off. Okay, so I fixed it. Okay. Remain in the spiritual, Barbara. Remain in the spiritual. When you strengthen and activate the third eye, you awaken intuition and inner wisdom on the path to self-realization. More information on the third eye. Here we are. See the third eye? These two eyes see with the physical. This third eye sees the spiritual. Okay. It is our connection with the God of your own personal understanding. It is your connection. Believe me. Well, you don't have to believe me, but it is. It is the second to the last step before reaching total enlightenment. This is according to the yoga philosophy, which actually occurs through the crown of the head. Psychic energy is said to accumulate in this area of the brain and body. However, in the grand scheme of the world, when this center is active and open, you can better understand your role in life, and the various signs and synchronicities that occur and point you in the right direction. Life is in sync. Harmony, all is harmony. The rules are already laid out. We were handed these spiritual points and spiritual rules before we left the realm. And before we entered this realm, we were handed a set of spiritual rules, spiritual laws. We are spiritual beings living in a physical world governed by spiritual laws. And so when the spiritual law and the physical law, they clash. because the spiritual laws were first. No matter what religion, spiritual practice, whatever, the express purpose of you engaging in your spiritual practice is so you could have peace. Peace in the valley. You want peace. You want to be able to talk to your higher power. When you're going through something, you just want peace. So here you have the spiritual rules and regulation that was given to us before we even entered this realm. Then you've got the physical laws and regulations, and sometimes they clash. So now we have a choice. The bottom line is, for safekeeping, always get rid of the physical and always remain with the spiritual, because the spiritual is first. The spiritual laws were first. So what we want to do is to remain in the grand scheme of life. Okay, so we want to remain open. We want to make sure that we keep our main chakra, trying to keep this simple. We want to make sure that we keep our minds open to peace. Peace is trying to make its way in. Don't block the peace. Let the peace in. Okay? Let the peace in. Go with the flow of the peace. Be in sync with the peace. Be in sync with the peace. Symbolically, the third eye represents union on the path to cosmic consciousness. I'll break this down. Cosmic consciousness means we are in one with the universe. We're in one with whatever your spiritual practice is, then you are supposed to be in one with it. So we are in one with the universe. We are in one with divine wisdom. Divine wisdom. I'm gonna put this. The God of your understanding, whatever it is, the God of your understanding understands and knows everything. Whatever your practice is, I'm sure you are practicing it on some level, because you know that entity or energy that you are communicating with knows your situation. And it knows how to help you get out of it. But you must what? Talk to the wisdom. Talk to the wise one. Put it that way. Inner knowing, self-realization. Who are you? What are you? What are your values? How do you conduct yourself? Your belief systems growing up. You still have those belief systems. How are they working for you? Have you outgrown those belief systems? Is it time for you to let go of some of those superstitions and belief systems and work with a whole new set of rules and tools? As far as intuition, we talked about intuition a few seconds ago. Intuition is your feeling and your mind coming together on the inside, so the energy can be able to communicate with you. Intuition is what's going on around you and what's going on in you is trying to match. All right? Intuition. What's going on around you and what's going on in you is trying to match. This is the place where ego, Arjuna, I did this on purpose. This is just a sign. This is the place where the ego, which is Arjuna, I'll tell you what it is left behind, and the concept of duality begins to unwind in order to embrace unity, the concept of one. It's Krishna. All right. Some time ago, I presented, I think it was a blueprint of happiness, or it was the Bhagavad Gita. Understanding the Bhagavad Gita, which is a Hindu Bible. All right. Anyway, there is a concept, ego and Krishna. So my analogy is you have a little baby. And so have you ever went into a store and before you went into the store, you told the child, don't ask for anything, but you're not going to get it. You get into the store and the child wants this and you had already told the child, don't ask for anything, but they act out anyway. So they're in the store, they're acting out this, they want this, they throwing a tantrum, or they're all on the floor acting out, acting out, acting out. Well, in life, we have the child within us that wants something. And if we don't get it, then we act out. So that acting out is the ego. The ego, the average ego is about this big. This big is the size of, the average ego is supposed to be the size of a dime. Some egos are bigger than the universe. Some egos feel that they are the universe. Some individuals, for whatever reason, their heart is in the right place, but for whatever reason, and they're good people, but they just have this huge ego. So Arjuna is the little baby that acts out when they don't get their way. Krishna is the adult. Krishna is the developed one. Krishna is the one with maturity. Okay, they have grown in their spiritual development, where now Krishna is trying to teach. Krishna is trying to teach Arjuna the road of life, but Krishna is having a hard time, but Krishna's not having a hard time. Krishna sits back in amazement and is literally amused because Arjuna, or the little baby, is just wants what it wants when it wants it. And it hasn't figured out yet. It hasn't figured it out yet that it takes some letting go and patience to obtain what he wants. And that is, in essence, the um, lesson of Arjuna and Krishna. See, I remembered it. A quotation by Marianne Williamson: when we begin to see each other through what the metaphysician calls the third eye, we begin to know each other on a level that is beyond what our physical eyes can see. Again, when we begin to see each other through what the metaphysician calls the third eye, we begin to know each other on a level that is beyond what our physical eyes can see. Quotation, Marianne Williams. The following are a review of the diagrams that we saw. Let me do it this way. It is so much easier for me. The diagrams are, first it was the pineal gland, which is located at the center of the brain, sandwiched between the right and left hemisphere. Again, here it is, pineal gland. Moving right along. Moving right along. Moving right along. Okay. Good work. No problem. Always have a backup plan. Number two, we have, you remember? Okay, this one threw me off a little bit, but I got it in my head now. Outside the realm of science, the pineal gland is associated with the sixth chakra called Ajna, or the third eye center located between your eyebrows here. Essentially, is seated in the back of the brain, but it is here. See? See where I'm pointing? Right there. Third eye. Then, when you strengthen and activate the third eye, You awaken intuition and inner wisdom on the path to self-realization. Another diagram, if you will, in addition to the physiological role the pineal gland plays in the body, it is also commonly associated with spiritual thought, and mystical experiences. Mystical, physical thought, and mystical experiences. Change our thinking, change our life, meditate, and we will begin to have spiritual experiences. Next is, what is melatonin? Melatonin. What is melatonin? Melatonin is that big enough? Melatonin is a hormone. It is produced by the pineal gland in your brain. 2, it is an antioxidant. It protects against oxidative damage and can even prevent cancer. 3, it is a muscle relaxant. It relaxes the smooth muscles, including the digestive tract, so it's great for digestive problems. And there you see the third eye again. Third eye again. What else do we have? That is the path of enlightenment. Here we are walking, and we are ascending in consciousness. We are ascending in awareness, and we are slowly ascending to enlightenment, to the light, or enlightenment, or self-awareness. We have 3 minutes. Third eye. Symbolically, the third eye represents union on the path to cosmic consciousness, awareness of the entire universe as we know it, from an individual perspective. Divine wisdom, divine mind. Mind knows everywhere, sees everything, knows everything before it happens. Wisdom. And then we have inner knowing ourselves, getting to know ourselves, more about ourselves, okay? And intuition. It is the second to the last step before total enlightenment. Announcements are January 23rd, or the next video of this year, we will conclude faith, conclude Simon Peter. Next week will be the very last video having to do with the series of faith. Next will be January the 30th, 2020. We will begin to look at the disciple of Andrew. Andrew represents strength. The color is represented by lime green. I don't know what pixels show up on your screen, but on mine, it is a very, very bright, blinding green. 1 minute. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to say the prayer of protection, because everything else has to do with what's in the book, the questions in the book. Okay, so all of that has to do with the questions in the book. All right. So I don't want to go over. So let us just say the prayer of protection, seeing our way out. It is 8 on the dot here. So let's do what we can do to keep our word of getting out on time. Those of you that have heard me sing, it's not a singing voice, it's not for entertainment, it is for singing to the God of my understanding. That I want peace on this earth. I do. I want peace in my life, and I want peace on this earth. All right. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let peace begin on earth, and let it begin with me. The light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, and the very presence of God watches over us wherever we are. Wherever we are, God is. This is so, and so it is. Thank you, and good night.